and welcome to this Team Lotus F1 Manager Series as we are approaching race 6 today in the 2026 season, and it's a very exciting one because we are back into the database editor to do our next round of upgrades for the rest of the grid. So last time out, of course, we probably didn't have the pace anyway in Jeddah, and that's without these upgrades. Danny Rick did manage to win the race, but we qualified 8th and 10th. And got a bit lucky, didn't we, really, in front of us. There's a few incidents and accidents. Danny Rick managed his tyres really well and managed to pick up the victory. Fernando Alonso probably was set to finish around 5th, but an accident in front of us opened the door for him to get a podium. So it was 1st and 3rd for us. But there is a downgrade because every race so far, it's been a 1-2. So the grid is slightly changing and they are starting to challenge us. And I think that's going to be even more the case as we head into Miami. And as I say, we'll be in the database editor before we get there to help out the AI. So this is going to be a very, very exciting one because I think we're going to have a challenge on our hands today. But if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, please do smash that like button. As I say, the likes really do help me out. It gets it out to more people, helps us grow the channel. So please take a couple of seconds just to smash that like button. And please do get involved down below in the comments. But let us move forward then. We've got 11 days till Miami, and we probably need to start doing some design work. Because as I say, we've not been doing much, and now our rivals are catching up and maybe overtaking us. So we will be doing some design work in this one. So talking around design, we've got a front wing underway. An underfloor is just finished, and we've got that under manufacturing. It's currently being manufactured, so we'll get a new underfloor on the car shortly. But I think we do need to crack out some more design. We've got a new CFD and wind tunnel time, ATR period. So let us crack on with this. And minimum lifespan, as always, bring that right down. Where are we in terms of... Yeah, so high speed and medium speed lacking a little bit. So I think we'll go high speed focus for this underfloor. One engineer normal, $1 million. Let's get that one done. Let's get a rear wing underway as well. And 1.2 CFD, and we'll put 15 wind tunnel time on that. Minimum lifespan, bring that right down again. Let's say high speed, we're struggling a little bit more. So let's go for something like that. Again, one engineer, $1.8 million on that one. And let's whack out our final design here. And we'll go suspension. And we'll go 1.4. And let's go for 17 wind tunnel hours on that. And again, minimum lifespan right down. High speed, that is going to help, isn't it? Tire preservation, I wouldn't mind doing that. Let's go with that. One engineer again, $1 million. So we've got a full suite of designs underway now. So that is going to help us maybe keep pace with our competitors, because I think we're probably going to be overtaken in terms of the development race today. Okay, pit crew training for this month, and it's a heavy month in terms of races. We've got 3 races this month, so we've had to put a lot of rest in. Again, looking at the cumulative tab, we can see we are tired as we reach each Sunday here. So this was nearly going over to the next segment. So we want to be at the very maximum tired, and that's what we've got on the Sunday. So we've put quite a bit of rest on there. What it means on the total tab, chance of mistake doesn't really matter as we look at that on the other tab. But estimated pit stop time, we're not really making too much difference there, but we've not lost anything. Car building, slightly negative effect, and we're losing a few points on the car release as well. So in fact, probably what we want to do there is change these jacks, because car used tires off is quite low and car release is quite low. So let's change that. There we go, that balances out a bit. So we're not going to improve on the jacks or car release, but we will on used tyres off, new tyres on, and wheel gun as well. So there we have it. That is the pit crew training for the month, confirmed. Okay, so the underfloor project is going to take longer than we first thought. So we can change the deadline to 9th of June, or we can pay overtime, 28th of May. I think we want to pay some overtime this time because we are in need of some new designs and manufacturing. New front wing design is complete, so let's get straight in with the manufacture of that. And we'll have 4 front wings, please. Opens up another design slot, and we will do another front wing. We'll use our remaining CFD and wind tunnel time here. Don't bring the minimum lifespan right down on this one because front wings, of course, do get smashed up pretty easily. So we'll do 2 to 4. And we'll go for something like that. 1 engineer, $1.8 million. So plenty of design done before we get to Miami, which is starting tomorrow. Miami, of course, is a sprint weekend, and we have arrived at the race weekend. But before we do that, we need to head over to the editor to look at the changes for the AI for this upcoming round in terms of upgrade packages. Okay, we are in the database editor, and this is prior to making any changes. So as you can see, we've lost a bit of ground anyway with the AI doing in-game developments. McLaren, look at that. They've got an 8% margin on Aston Martin, showing as the second fastest team, then Mercedes, then Red Bull, then RB, and Team Lotus showing as 6th. But we've been doing pretty good work. So sometimes these percentages don't show you everything, because if we're bossing it on the cornering speed, then we might still be the fastest car. So it doesn't tell the whole story. But at the moment, it shows that we're very close. There's, 4 or 5% between Mercedes all the way down to Haas there. Aston Martin 3% on Mercedes, and then McLaren leading the way. So let's go in. So what we're going to do is do the random generator now to see what teams are going to get what upgrades. I'll do this off video and then I'll show you the result. If you saw the previous episode when we done this, we did all of that draw in the episode. We're not going to show that in the episode. I'll just show you the results. So here are the results. So starting with McLaren, we'll go through this one by one. They got a standard upgrade, so they remain in first place. As you can see the percentages increase there. Aston Martin also got a standard upgrade. They remain in second. Again, a slight increase. Mercedes, though, got the best upgrade you can get, which is a mega upgrade. So they jump 4% nearly, about 3.5, just over 3.5, from 54.49 to 58.14. So they're still in third, but they really do close the gap on Aston Martin and McLaren. Red Bull only got a minor upgrade, so they actually drop from 4th place all the way down to 7th. Then we've got RB, who got a major upgrade, so they are up from 5th place to 4th, so they jump their parent team, so to speak, in Red Bull, so they go from 5th to 4th. Team Lotus, of course, we're not upgrading anything. We can only do that in-game. That's the rules for us, so we have no upgrades, and that actually means we drop from 6th to 8th. We'll get back to that shortly. Ferrari, a standard upgrade, and that actually is very good for them because Red Bull's minor and Team Lotus are not having an upgrade. Means they jump up 2 places to 5th, do Ferrari. Alpine, another one getting a mega upgrade, and they go from 8th to 6th. So they jump Red Bull as well as Team Lotus. So they've gone from 51.53 to 55.09. Williams, unfortunately, only a minor upgrade, so that sees them drop from 9th to 10th. Haas get a standard, they jump Williams, so they're up from 10th to 9th. And Stake Sauber, who is actually Audi in-game, of course, they got a major upgrade, well needed, because they are 3% off the next best team, 47 to 50%. They're now jumping up to 49, and they close that to just under 2%, so they've got a lot closer. So there you go, that's the results, and the major talking points there are, I think this Mercedes big mega jump, so they are getting closer to the top 2. Red Bull dropping down the grid. Also, us showed us a 6th before we done anything. We're now down to 8th, so we've got to do a lot of work. All I would say is still very close, though, from ourselves in 8th to RB in 4th. So those 5 teams there, it's only 3%, and then it's a further 2% to Aston Martin, Mercedes. So that is very close. And again, it depends on the actual parts that are performing the best. If if we've got the best cornering out of this percentage, then we'll probably be a lot higher than that. But McLaren are doing big things out there. It shows anyway on the car analysis here on the performance chart at an 8% margin. So we'll see if that transitions in-game as we'll jump back into game now. Okay, back in game, and yes, very interesting, those upgrades. The AI had done a lot of development work before we even did that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I want to continue because I did commit to doing that. So yeah, are we going to be able to actually get into Q3 in this one? Because we've really dropped down the order. Of course, it doesn't always show the best characteristics of the car, though, so we might still have a bit more pace than what the rankings are suggesting, but we very much need to crack on with that design work now. And McLaren look like they've been developing a rocket ship. As I say, before we added the upgrades that they got a standard upgrade through our editing, they were already the fastest car by quite a margin on the performance chart there. So let's see as we set our race targets. And look at this. Oh my goodness, what has happened? What has happened to Team Lotus? 18th for Danny Rick. 15th Fernando Alonso. we've got some work to do now. We've got to start designing. This is going to be a bit of a struggle in Miami. It's a sprint as well, so we're only going to get one practice session.
Track is green, track is green.
Here we go then, both cars out. Only one practice session, as I say, so trying to smash these setups, hopefully get them as close to 100% as possible. Okay, so our one and only practice session in Miami completed. Track acclimatization, very similar. 26% for Ricciardo, 27% for Alonso. Car parts knowledge, 100% for Alonso. Ricciardo, 86%. He has got that new underfloor on his car. And setup satisfaction uncovered for Ricciardo at 94%, which is very good going. Alonso, we got about 3 out of 5 on the final pieces of feedback. So just waiting to uncover that, but hopefully he'll be at around 80 to 90% as well as we head to sprint qualifying next. Here we go then, sprint qualifying underway. And as usual, we want to get out nice and early and hopefully encounter no traffic. Are we going to be able to get out of SQ1 here? How the tables have turned in this 2026 season. We will come back at the grid, of course. Just we weren't doing much design work. Alonso, Ricciardo, okay, sorry, getting traffic.
Got some traffic, so I think this lap's aborted.
I think that lap is aborted. Goes purple, but he's the first one through that timing zone. 33.9, 33. Well, Alonso's even slower. Let's let them finish these laps, but I don't think they're going to be good enough.
P1.
Here we go, we've gone for another flying lap then in SQ1. Alonso very much in trouble, 15th at the moment. Ricciardo is P6. Have we got enough to get into SQ2? We're looking, hopefully, for some green sectors in this one. Ricciardo will show us shortly what he's achieved in his first sector, and he is going green. It's a 33.0. I think he's 33.3 in the first flying lap, and Alonso matches him, so we are going quicker. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Sainz and Verstappen are all finished, so Ricciardo probably is going to be pretty safe with that. Alonso looks like he's had a bit of a problem there, just saw it in the background, so Alonso may have traffic again, and if he has, he's in big trouble because Hamilton, Norris, Russell all in the bottom 6. Hopefully Alonso has not lost too much time there. It was 20.9, 21.1. He lost a couple of attempts, so not awful. Hamilton has gone quicker, up to 15th. So nothing major from the Ferrari man. Ricciardo is safe anyway because those behind him are finishing. But he is going to go quicker. But it's more about Fernando Alonso here. Alonso across the line. Does go quicker. Looked like he hadn't gone quicker there for a while, but he is going to make it through to SQ2, and Hamilton is knocked out in SQ1. Big surprise there then for Lewis. Same again, just going to get out nice and early here. Oh, and the whole grid are going out, so we won't have traffic on these laps. So at least we haven't got to worry about traffic. Let's hope they set good times. They're about to come in now. And Hulkenberg on provisional pole. We're 2 tenths for Alonso, 3 with Ricciardo. And I'm not going to go again. I think that's about as good as it's going to get because you use the same tyres, of course. So let's wait and see what happens here. We're currently 6th from 7th. Is that going to be enough? Got Norris across the line. Yeah, he's through. Bottas. Then we've got Tsunoda, who's already there, I think. No, Russell is on a flyer, so all of these are on flyers behind us. Autoletto goes up to P11. What's K-Mag going to do here? He's across the line. Doesn't improve. Then we've got Russell. He does improve. Verstappen. Norris is in the bottom 6. Verstappen, what's he going to do? Verstappen is through. So I believe it's just on Perez. Perez on a... He's on an in-lap, so we just make it through to SQ3 then. Lando Norris knocked out in SQ2. Piastri in 3rd. Norris a long way back, and we just survive in 9th and 10th with Alonso and Ricciardo. SQ3 underway then, our one and only flying laps with Ricciardo and Alonso. Leclerc has put it on provisional pole, then Piastri. It looks like Bottas and Russell have both had traffic. unless they're that far behind. But I think they've both had traffic. So the Mercedes look like they've encountered issues here. Have we got much traffic coming up for our drivers? Bottas we have. Everyone else on a hot lap. So it is going to be on this straight here. So hopefully Bottas stays out of the way. He does for Ricciardo. What about Alonso? He does. So we're good for traffic. And it's a 32.8 in that first sector. 32.7. So advantage to Alonso between our two teammates. We were 9th and 10th in SQ2. So it looks to be where we kind of are for this qualifying session. I'm not expecting to put it on pole, but who knows? The middle sector, the second sector is in 20.9 for Ricciardo. 20.8. So yeah, Alonso looks to be a 10th to 2 tenths up here. That can all change in the final sector. So we're on this final straight, DRS open for both Team Lotus drivers. Leclerc on provisional pole. It's Piastri second, Sainz third. Then quite a gap to Hülkenberg in fourth. Has there been some traffic there? And can we sneak in to fourth? The Noda goes P2. But here we go. Danny Rick across the line. He goes fifth. What about Fernando Alonso? Fernando goes to third. Ricciardo, not a great lap in the end. Nearly 7 tenths off Leclerc. But Alonso within 2 tenths. I think we're just waiting for Max Verstappen now. What can Max do? He only goes to 9th. So once that's all said and done, that's not been a bad sprint qualifying session for us. Full confirmation then. Leclerc is on pole for the sprint. It's Yuki Tsunoda in P2, but Fernando Alonso gets it on the second row in P3. It's Piastri 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Danny Rick P6, Hülkenberg 7th, Bottas 8th, Max Verstappen 9th, and George Russell 10th as we look at the strategy before jumping in to this sprint race. So you can really go either softs or mediums here. It shows the same time for Danny Rick because he's got good tyre smoothness, but I think we're going to go mediums. Just gives us a bit more room for error in case there's a lock-up or we want to push a bit more. So we're going to go mediums with both. Alonso's car setup, only 72% here. Not much we can do. That rear wing is too high. Yeah, we can't really do much about it now for Fernando, so we're going to have to stick as is. But here we go then. Let's jump into this sprint. Let's just get them where we need them to be as we start this one. And I think we're ready to jump in and start the sprint in Miami. Here we go then. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. Leclerc leads us away from pole. It's Danny Rick P6. It's Alonso P3 as we head down to the first corner here. And Yuki Tsunoda on the outside is making a claim for the lead of the race. Alonso has settled in nicely to where he started in P3. And Leclerc is on the softs, Piastri on the softs. So there is a mixture. As I say, it is very close between the softs and mediums. But you don't have much margin for error. So that's where we are in terms of tyres.
Just manage your tires, please.
Okay.
Just keep up the tyre management for the moment.
Copy, copy.
You can reduce management.
I just want Alonso to stay with this group of cars.
So just manage your tyres.
And then we'll go into some tyre management. So we've got a yellow flag. Something's gone on behind us here.
There's a big accident on the start-finish straight.
It's Piastri, who's had his wars already this season. Oh, the Red Bull really. The Red Bull's error you've got to say there. That must have been Sainz. Doesn't look like either of them got damage, which is lucky. But Sainz has got Ricciardo all over him, and Ricciardo's through because Sainz has lost the DRS on Piastri due to that incident.
Good job. Copy that.
Here's the replay.
Danny Rick has moved back up to P5, overtaking Valtteri Bottas here. And whilst that's been going on, Alonso's back into P3 on Piastri. And he's broke the DRS, so it's 1.2 now to Oscar. Good tyre life here, Alonso, so we can probably attack with him as well.
Currently P3.
9 laps to go. He's 3.1 off Leclerc, but he's got
And the gap 3.1.
good tyre margin on both of them, to be fair.
Car behind Piastri.
And here we have it then. Daniel Rick, DRS open. On the inside is his fellow countryman. And he is on the inside and up into P4. So we now run P3 with Alonso, P4 with Ricciardo.
Tires are on the higher side. And try to cool down the tires where you can. Slightly
Ricciardo having a look then at Fernando Alonso. And he's going to be through on Fernando. So Fernando will swap over and start managing his tyres a little bit here. And there we go. There's Leclerc. Have we got a chance to win this sprint here?
Leclerc is 1.3. Head back down. We stay in the rhythm.
Potentially is Alonso. Alonso then has DRS on Danny Rick. He's going to reclaim this P3 from his teammate.
Alonso will have DRS.
It's very timid through there, and I don't want to be losing time. Alonso gets back to P3. But I think Ricciardo will have him straight back here. Or is Alonso going to get DRS? Alonso has got DRS on Leclerc. Right, I'm going to ask Ricciardo just not to fight Alonso just at the moment.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
Because Fernando's got a good opportunity to get past Leclerc here. Got good tyre margin on Leclerc.
Okay, understood.
We've got a chance to win this sprint here.
Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
Here we go then with Fernando Alonso. Leclerc the car ahead. DRS is open. So we're gaining. We're gaining. We're gaining. Is he going to go for it? He pulls out to the inside. I think he's going to make this move. Fernando Alonso up into P2. Come on, Fernando. We've got real pace, in the closing stages of this Grand Prix. And it's now just 2 seconds to Yuki Tsunoda, who leads this sprint.
So that's P2. Tsunoda ahead.
Right, now we need to push over to Ricciardo, and now it's hopefully Ricciardo's turn to get past Leclerc, although has Leclerc got DRS on Alonso? He has, just about. Leclerc has got the DRS, but he might not have it across the next lap. And Ricciardo's not bothered about Leclerc having DRS because he's still going to send one down the inside. And Ricciardo wastes no time, and it's now P2 for Alonso and P3 for Ricciardo. As we chase down then Yuki Tsunoda here.
Okay.
Alonso nearly into that DRS again of Yuki, but Danny Rick has fallen out of the DRS to Alonso here. So Ricciardo might be under threat from Leclerc, although we can't quite see Leclerc, so he might be okay. Tyre life then with 3 laps to go. Yuki Tsunoda down to 40%, so he definitely went for a little bit of an attack phase there. It's not really worked for him though, because Alonso is all over him now. Fernando Alonso having a look there, not quite going to happen. Leclerc still very much in this though. Half a second behind Ricciardo. Ricciardo is pushing quite hard now to get back to Tsunoda and Alonso. If Alonso's going to win this sprint, as we don't want to do that, we want to take Ricciardo off don't fight teammate, because in the closing stages they're free to fight. But Alonso really need to make this move now.
Okay.
Because he's going to have his teammate coming at him shortly. Ricciardo's broken the DRS to Leclerc. There's Ricciardo. Here's Alonso for the lead in Miami. In the sprint in Miami. Alonso takes the lead then. Yuki, can he stay with him? Or can Alonso break the DRS? We're not going to try and use the battery just yet, because this is a long old straight here, and Yuki might just come straight back at us. So we'll see what happens here. But if we are ahead out of this corner, then we will start to use the battery. But here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Ricciardo doesn't get DRS, but he does get a slipstream, so he's not too far away. Is Yuki going to go for the move? He is.
Tsunoda ahead.
Tsunoda back into the lead, but of course, Alonso's now going to get the DRS. And he's all over Yuki Tsunoda here. And he's already nearly past him, but that's going to cause him to lose time. That could open the door for Danny Rick. No, it doesn't, but Alonso go around the outside, and then Danny Rick gets bogged down behind the gearbox of Yuki Tsunoda, so Alonso is into the lead. Yuki Tsunoda P2, Ricciardo P3. Leclerc looks out of it now. 3 seconds cut adrift. Can Ricciardo get past Yuki here and bring a challenge to his teammate Alonso?
Bit of lift off.
Just over a lap and a half to go then. And Alonso's trying to break that DRS to Yuki. And at the same time, his teammate Danny Rick. Yuki's now 8 tenths behind. Ricciardo needs to get past him. And he's trying to do that now. He's alongside him. He's going to get the DRS. They've both got DRS. How close can Ricciardo get to Alonso here? He's going to be very close in the end, I think. But they're still fighting. Yuki's not giving it up. But he has to concede, and Ricciardo's into P2. It's a 1-2. Even with the performance somewhat seeming lacking here, it seems like we're going to be able to pull off a 1-2. But is it going to be Fernando Alonso or is it going to be Ricciardo here?
Understood.
Ricciardo got DRS on Alonso. Doesn't make the move though. It's going to be a last lap battle then between our two teammates. Got plenty of tyre life. Tsunoda's tyres are getting very worn. I think Leclerc's too far back on him though. But here comes Danny Rick, looks to the inside, switches over to the outside. Alonso doesn't want to give it up, and he doesn't. Does Ricciardo tactically pull out of that to have a go on the next DRS zone?
Copy, saw that.
As Alonso saying he's pushed wide, I don't think he was. I think he'll be happy where he is there.
Keep the head down.
Let's put them both on deploy. Let's have them on the same battery. We don't want to give advantage to either driver here, but the advantage maybe to Danny Rick. Although Alonso has first place, Danny Rick has the benefit of only being half a second behind and benefiting from this DRS. And here comes the Honey Badger then. Is he going to make the move here? He is. But if he retains this, he will give the DRS advantage to Fernando Alonso. Ricciardo's through. Alonso loses a bit of traction. The gap is nearly 7 tenths because of that. Alonso needs to get onto him quick if he wants to win this Miami sprint. Ricciardo now leads. The interval has not changed. It's saying it's nearly a second. Ricciardo might have done enough. Alonso looks a far bit behind here.
Okay, keep an eye on your battery.
He'll start to gain. He's gaining. He's gaining. It's going to be too far back to make a move, though. And it looks like, in the end, it's going to be Danny Rick to get one over Fernando Alonso yet again here in this season. And it is Daniel Ricciardo that wins the Miami sprint. Danny Rick very happy indeed. Danny Rick wins it. Alonso P2, Tsunoda 2 seconds back in P3 in the end. But what a result for us. It shows that our car performance shouldn't be doing this. But we've got two pretty good drivers. We've got good tyre preservation. And Danny Rick, it might be Carlos Sainz that they call the smooth operator. But certainly Danny Rick is in this game. He's the tyre whisperer. He can really look after those tyres. And he wins again in this sprint in Miami. So full classification then. Daniel Ricciardo up 5 places to win it. Fernando Alonso up 1 for second place. And Yuki Tsunoda rounds off the podium in P3. Leclerc was down 3 to 4 for Russell up 5 to finish 5th. Hülkenberg 6th. Oscar Piastri 7th. Bottas 8th. Carlos Sainz 9th. And Max Verstappen 10th. Of course, the top 8 scoring points. Lewis Hamilton, as we saw, knocked out in SQ1, but did go up 7 places. So a good drive from him, but not enough to claim any points in this one. Right, that was a bit chaotic. Let's jump into qualifying then for the full race. You know the drill by now. Straight out, get this banker lap in. Ooh, Alonso 1.2 off Ricciardo, so that would show that he probably got some traffic. So Fernando will need to go again. Okay, Fernando's just completed his second run on the same tyres, and he has improved. So hopefully that's going to be enough for both drivers. Here we go then, checkered flag, and it looks like it is going to be enough for us. Is Norris going to get out of the drop zone? He does. No real surprises down there as we head to Q2. So we've just set our first times in Q2, and as you see, Ricciardo was hampered by a lot of traffic. So it's his turn, to go out twice in Q2. Right, Ricciardo has just done his second run, and it's not been enough. So we need to get him back in and out. Hopefully we've got enough time. It's going to be touch and go here. I don't know if we have, you know. Well, we should just about get enough time. Oh, Ricciardo's out, but he's got a lot of traffic behind him that he's pulling out. I don't know if he's going to make the line here. Is he, Ricciardo? Oh, he is. He is just about. 15 seconds to go, and Ricciardo makes it. So Alonso looks to be safely through. Ricciardo does have work to do here, and we're looking for some green sectors. Traffic-wise, I think he's going to be pretty good here, hopefully. Checkered flag is out then, and Leclerc... Well, if Ricciardo goes faster, Leclerc will be out. Bottas and Piastri also currently in the drop zone. There could be a couple of heavy hitters to go here. Let's wait and see. What's Ricciardo going to do through this first sector? He does go green, so that is very positive indeed. Piastri safely out of the drop zone, so Leclerc will be heading out here in Q2. Can Bottas get out? He's got some traffic.
Okay, I've got some
No,
traffic, so
this is going to be it.
I think this lap's aborted.
Ricciardo's going to be out. This is awful. What is... Oh. It's Russell, isn't it? That was Russell, who's absolutely just wrecked that. George Russell. And that is going to be the end. Bottas is out because he's pulling over, but Ricciardo is going to be P16 here. Nightmare of a Q2 session for him. Got traffic on every run. And we'll come across the line, but this is not going to be enough. He's lost so much time in that middle sector. I very much doubt he's going to improve. Oh, he does! I don't know what I'm talking about. I do not know what I'm talking about. How the hell have we gone quicker there? He was held up so much in that middle sector. But who cares? Danny Rick is through. I was not expecting that. For 1 minute there, Bottas and Leclerc are out. But somehow, Ricciardo is through. Well, I know nothing. Let's go to Q3. Underway on our first runs in Q3. There's Hamilton. He gets out of the way nicely for both drivers. So that is good news indeed. Whatever traffic have we got on this first run? We've got Carlos Sainz, who is here. We will encounter him at some point, hopefully on this straight, because we won't catch Norris. If we catch Sainz here, oh, which might happen. It might well happen here, judging by how this is about to pan out. This is not going to be good, is it? There's Carlos Sainz. Hopefully he gets through this section.
Yeah, it's impossible with these guys.
Alonso not happy. I mean, he's not really there at the moment. There he is. We should be fine. Purple for Alonso. First one through there, but he was going quicker than Ricciardo. Sainz out of the way nicely. It's a 32.8. Ricciardo 34.7. What happened there then? Maybe Ricciardo was hampered by Hamilton then. That's going to be just no point continuing that lap. But Fernando Alonso is going to round this final corner. He's going to be the first one to set a time.
Daniel pit lane.
And it's a 1:28.3 to set the pace.
Okay, stop in front of the
Here we go then, our final runs in Q3. And as we have it right now, it's Yuki Tsunoda on pole, Sainz second, Hülkenberg third, Russell fourth. So those RBs looking very good round here. Alonso and Ricciardo had to get out of the way for Piastri, and it looks like Ricciardo is going to get an almighty toe off Alonso in this lap. But where are we going to encounter Oscar Piastri? It's going to be about right here. And this could be the end of it for both drivers. Oh, yeah, Ricciardo is completely hampered. The traffic is so hard to navigate around here. And I think that's going to be all she wrote. Although we did say that in Q2. But I don't think we're going to improve here. But we could be completely wrong. And now it's Yuki Tsunoda getting a massive toe off Ricciardo. Yuki Tsunoda is going to be on pole here, isn't he? Alonso did go quicker through that middle sector. Ricciardo didn't improve there either. Alonso across the line. Doesn't improve. Ricciardo doesn't improve. But Yuki Tsunoda has put it on provisional pole. I think Piastri is finished. Although he's not checkered flag, he has. So a poor qualifying there in the end because our final run's hampered by Oscar. But it's Yuki Tsunoda on pole and Hülkenberg in the other RB makes it a 1-3 for RB in Miami. And there it is in all its glory then. Yuki Tsunoda on pole, Carlos Sainz second, Hülkenberg third, George Russell fourth, Hamilton fifth, Alonso sixth, Oscar Piastri seventh, Max in eighth, Lando Norris ninth, and Danny Rick in 10th. As we set up our strategy then for this full race in Miami. Okay, well the strategy is pretty simple in the end, and that's because you probably see already in the background, there's some wet weather here. So if we look at the track graph, How wet it's going to get very quickly from around about lap 12 here. Lap 17, sorry. From around about lap 17. Look at this. It's going to go straight to wet. And it's going to stay at wet until around about lap 40, early 40s. Then it's going to switch over to inters for the rest of this race. So lap 17 is when we're going to wet. Around, well, that's when it starts raining. It's probably about lap 20 as it has it here. That's going to be around about where we need to stop from lap 17 to 21. You could put softs on, but the problem is if that rain holds off a little bit longer, there's not too much tyre life to play with there. So mediums is definitely the right choice. So it's going to be mediums, wets, and inters. The lap times in terms of the laps when we're actually stopping, I'm not going to pay attention to because we'll just monitor the wet weather and we'll make a decision on that in the race. So it is going to be the same with both drivers, which is essentially the only dry tyre we're going to use is the mediums for that first stint. Then when the rain hits, we'll be switching over to wet. And then when the rain eases off, we'll be on to inters. But I don't think it will ease off enough to put on the softs. So there we have it. 2-stop. Rain on its way as we start this race in Miami.
This is it.
Here we go then, and it is Yuki Tsunoda on pole and Hulkenberg and the other RB in third. They have got blistering pace, those RBs in 2026. The lights are out very quick. Russell starts the race with damage. We start in P6 and P10 as Alonso is already trying to move on Lewis Hamilton. It's very slow and timid round there. Can Alonso move up into 5th here? No, looks like Lewis will get the traction out of there. And Ricciardo has maintained 10th place. Right, let's have a look at tyres then. Well, I said no one would put the hards on. I don't know what I'm talking about clearly because Sainz, Piastri and Bottas have put the hard tyres on. Tsunoda's on the soft, Verstappen on the soft. Everyone else in the top 10 apart from those hards on the mediums. So the majority are on the mediums. And Fernando Alonso then, another chance on Lewis Hamilton. This time he is through on the inside and he is past Lewis. Lewis on the mediums as well, but Lewis seems very slow off the start. He's dropped. Not that DRS is actually open yet because it's the first lap, but
So
we've already dropped out of it on
P5.
Russell. So very slow pace from Hamilton at the start here. Looks like it's K-Mag. It's always K-Mag.
Okay, now we have a yellow.
Oh, it's not K-Mag. I'll take it back, K-Mag. It's
On
Portoletto.
the straights here.
But K-Mag's picked up some damage somewhere because he didn't start the race with damage.
And there goes
Portoletto.
the steering.
Ooh,
Just
luckily,
unable to control the
he didn't
car
go into
by
the
that
back
point.
of, I think it might have been K-Mag who was in front of him. And Ricciardo bogged down in 10th still, but Alonso's got a good chance on George Russell here because he's got DRS. George has got none, and George has got some damage. As I say, he started the race with damage, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But Alonso has got the job done and moves up into P4. So a good strong start from Fernando here. There we go. It's pretty easy work in the end. As I say, George didn't have any DRS. DRS is very strong here, and if you haven't got it to defend with, you're in big trouble. Right, it's 1.5 to Hulkenberg. We have got to be mindful of these tyres.
So, lift off.
Copy.
We probably do need to just settle into our strategy. Is George going to come straight back at us? Russell's got a mechanical fault now, so Russell is probably going to be struggling in this race. So if we can break the DRS to him, that would be handy. But he's going to get DRS here, and he's looking like he's already alongside us. So I think Russell's going to reclaim that place on us.
You're doing very good. Okay, next one is Norris.
And Ricciardo is past Piastri then. So Ricciardo finally out of P10. Is this? It must be Lando ahead of us and Piastri on our inside. So not the best of angle to see that. But Ricciardo up into P9.
Alrighty. Nice.
Right, so Tsunoda leads, but it has calmed down a bit out in front because Hulkenberg's got past Sainz and he is in the DRS of his teammate now. So Tsunoda obviously pushed on those tyres and he's started to rein it in a bit now. But they are having a good race. Could RB, could they pull off a 1-2 here?
Good job with that.
As Alonso is back past Russell. There we go. RB in the chat. Yes, RB are doing big things here today. Ricciardo is very much in a DRS train, isn't he? Well, behind him is a DRS train. He's at the head of the DRS train. Oh, he didn't take his tyres off. That probably is not helping him.
And we have margin to push a little bit more on the tires.
What's happened here? Alonso, Russell's passed him, and Verstappen's having a look as well. We've got DRS though. Back on George Russell. Can we try and break this DRS quickly? It's very hard to break the DRS, but no, I feel we're going to be fighting Russell this whole race. As Ricciardo is out of the points.
Let's have a look at that.
Counter 11th now, Danny Rick.
This time.
So not going well for the Honey Badger, who leads the Drivers' Championship. But he's bogged down in the midfield and he's struggling.
And Leclerc moves on up.
So Tsunoda leads 2.4. Behind him is his teammate Hülkenberg. Then it's Sainz, then Alonso, then 2.5 to Max Verstappen.
Recharge off.
What can we do with Danny Rick here? We can go hard on the overtake aggression.
This is your race now.
Okay, understood.
But everyone's in there's a DRS train from Verstappen down to Bottas is near enough in it as well. So 5th to 15th. There's a 10-car DRS train. And of course, because we've got wet weather coming in, we can't box early and try the undercut to get out of it. They've just got to suck it up. Dark Lord, hello buddy, how's it going? Hope you're well. Alonso has got past Sainz.
Currently.
Let's take a look at the replay.
So Alonso is in P3, but I imagine
arrived at turn 12.
he's probably going to be swapping positions with Sainz quite a bit. Don't think we're going to have the pace to pull away, but we shall see.
Up into third.
Alonso. Carlos Sainz, is he going to go for the move here? Yes, he is. But Alonso again is going to fight it. But I think Sainz will get the second helping of DRS here. And this should be enough to get the move done into turn 1. And there goes Carlos Sainz. And Ricciardo has got past Lando Norris. So from 10th up to 9th then. So Leclerc must have got past Norris. And now so has Daniel Ricciardo. So we're up to P9 with Danny Rick. Having to battle away in this race. Right, Russell's the car ahead now. Is that problem really hampering him now? Because he is going backwards. He's got DRS, but I think he might have battery issue and he's got an engine issue. And Ricciardo's going to sail past him. So Russell is starting to struggle now with his issues.
Currently P8. We have Hamilton ahead.
We've got a yellow flag. Red flag, no! That's not what we want. What's happened? Bortoletto. Oh, no.
Okay, we have a red flag.
I feel that's bad for us because we had good tyre life. And Bortoletto, who's crashing a lot in this series, has binned it into the wall. He's gone. Bortoletto's out, but it's a red flag. And this will push the session 20 minutes into the future, so we should restart on full wets. Am I seeing some inters here, though?
It's lights out, and away we go.
I believe I'm seeing some inters here as we restart. 4th with Alonso, 8th with Danny Rick, and Tsunoda's on inters. Oh no, Yuki, what's happened? Is that the right decision? The track is 5.3. He's going to be almightily slow, isn't he? So Alonso's lost a position off the start here. Right, just hold up a second. Right, lap 30, it should drop to inters. Yeah, we can attack on these full wets then. So, Yuki is trying to survive
Okay, so it's closing up a little bit.
10 plus laps on full wet conditions. But Yuki Tsunoda, who we thought might win this race, I feel he's going to go backwards here. As hello, Alonso. Thought he's going for 2 moves there. He might not even get 1 in the end. Can he get past Verstappen, who got him off the restart?
Okay, so that's
Carlos
P6.
Sainz is leading, and he's leading
Next
by
car is
2.7 seconds.
Max.
It's getting very tight through there. Max. Oh, hello. That's the Max Verstappen we know. Getting very aggressive. But Alonso is no slouch when it comes to aggression himself, and they're battling away.
Anything can happen still.
And Alonso is past Tsunoda, and Tsunoda is going backwards. Is that Glock going slow? No, it's not. It's Yuki Tsunoda. Who, for some reason, the RB team decided to bolt on the Inters.
The gap is 2.9.
Oh, and Ricciardo. Oh, and Verstappen's past Tsunoda. Tsunoda's down to P5. Now, Dark Lord wet. Yeah, good. I thought I was going to make a horrendous decision there, but I'm glad we're on the full wets. Yuki Tsunoda, RB, are trying to keep him on these Inters for the next 10 laps. I can't see it working, and it's not working. He's down to 6th. He will obviously gain 21 seconds back, but how far behind will he be? He will have used a bit of that tyre, of course. Right, Ricciardo is on Max Verstappen. And he is past Max Verstappen. But Max, as we know, doesn't like to give this up. He should just about get this done. Of course, no DRS now. But Slipstream, staying in that tow, still available, of course.
2.5 ahead.
On these long straights. Fittipaldi's got a mechanical fault. George Russell really struggling. He's down to 12th now. Who else went Inters? So Fittipaldi did, but he's got rid of Russell. Oh, that's why he's struggling as well. He's on Inters. Leclerc's on Inters as well. Hamilton's now past Tsunoda. Tsunoda's down to P7. It's about to be P8, I would imagine. And he's already 14 seconds off the lead. It is not going to work for Yuki Tsunoda. And I'm going to get Ricciardo in. He's got enough of a gap on Verstappen. He's got 8 seconds. So if he's slow on a couple of laps, it's not going to matter too much.
We need to go to Inter.
Daniel, pit lane.
So Ricciardo pits
Take it easy in the pit entry.
earlier than I normally go, but as I say, we've got a bit of a buffer, 8 seconds to Verstappen. Oh no, we might not have 8 seconds now. Slow rear left. 2 seconds slower on the stop.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, sorry for that.
What's the last lap? Tsunoda 152.2.
And no full throttle before pit exit.
He hasn't finished that lap yet, though.
Possible P7.
So that might be slightly too early, but let's see. We can start to get these up to temp.
Okay, Bottas coming now.
Okay.
Here we go then. Alonso pits. Hulkenberg and Sainz decide to stay
Look
out then.
At pit lane entry. Could be slippery.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully a cleaner stop. Danny Rick lost 2 seconds on his pit stop, of course. This is a slow front right this time. It's only a second slower, but our pit crew's struggling. Verstappen pits. So that's covered that off.
And what's that? A pit stop issue.
Going to be pretty close between Ricciardo and Alonso, but I think Alonso's just about going to have it. Danny Rick will be close to him here. Because Danny Rick's got some temperature into those tyres now.
Gap is 3.3. Car behind Piastri.
Surely Hulkenberg and Sainz will be in the end of this lap.
6. 28 remaining.
Yeah, I'd imagine Hulkenberg and Tsunoda in at the end of this lap.
Tyres okay for the moment.
Go, Danny Rick using that battery. Pulls out. And it should be job done then. Danny Rick on the inside. Yes, he's going to get that done. Hulkenberg and Sainz have stayed out.
Good job.
Hulkenberg and Sainz have stayed out here then. Last lap, a 142.8 for Ricciardo, 145. This is good news for us, bad news for Hulkenberg and Sainz. I'm not quite sure why they're staying out. Are they now doing... They're not surely thinking to hold on to here. Perez and Norris pits.
No problem.
Alonso all over the back of Hamilton. We've got to get this job done because this is holding us up.
Press and hold the overtake.
Fernando, there's no room through there, Fernando. It might be now, though, as it opens up. Lewis struggling with a bit of traction now on those wets. And Alonso's going to be through. Is Ricciardo going to follow him through here? No, not quite.
Currently P3.
Oh, Hamilton, though. Hold on. Not giving up on this quite yet, is Lewis.
Hamilton is the car behind.
But he finally has to concede. Is Hulkenberg and Sainz going to be into the pits? Hulkenberg is. Sainz is in. So they finally do stop. Are we going to take the lead of this race here? Hulkenberg, race leader, into the pits for RB. Carlos Sainz behind him. Check Russell and K-Mag engines. We'll do that shortly. Clean stop for RB. Must have been a clean stop for Red Bull as well. Ricciardo's past Hamilton. And we're about to see them pop out. Ricciardo just holds on to it ahead of Hulkenberg then. Hulkenberg's got to get his tyres up to temp. Ricciardo's are up to temp.
So now we prepare for a good defense.
And it's a 1-2. Well, I said we wouldn't have the pace to win this race and carry on these 1-2 finishes, but somehow we've ended up in a 1-2 position, helped no doubt by RB and putting Tsunoda on those inters, who is now up to 11th. Has he got a chance of points still? But Hulkenberg and Sainz very much in this with us still. As soon as Hulkenberg gets within 2 seconds, I'm going to deploy on the battery and just hope that we're going to have enough buffer. Because if this track goes dry, I think we're going to be in big problems here. Oh god, chat, this could get nasty. There's 6 laps to go. Well, 5 once we finish this one. And the sun is about to come out.
Everything's stable.
What's Sainz tyres? Sainz is 64. Yeah, a lot of the AI have reserved good tyre life. 1.87.
Okay, 5 laps to go. 5 laps.
We could be in trouble here, chat, for the win.
Copy.
We can finish P3 and 4, definitely, because the gap to Verstappen.
Overtake available.
Understood.
These tyres are about to burn out. Danny Rick, we're going to have to go light for a little while here.
And try to cool down the tires where you can. It's slightly coming up.
Yep, understood.
Hulkenberg is under 2 seconds. Dampness is down to 1.7. Oh, this is going to be tight.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus
Just
on the
may as
brakes.
well use all this battery. Just try and get as much of a gap as we can. There's no point boxing, of course. We'll just have to see out the pain if it happens. All right, when we cross the line, it's going to be 2 laps to go, but the track is about to change to dry.
How are conditions?
What it does mean is Ricciardo will get DRS. Even though he's on the inters, DRS will be enabled. Although he's just dropped out of that DRS. And Fernando will get DRS on the back marker unless he gets out before the DRS zone, which I think Portier has got out of the way. Is he getting in the way of Danny Rick? But Danny Rick will now get the DRS. Teo, not really getting out of the way, are you, of Danny Rick? Could cost Danny Rick the chance to fight for the win here. He does get out of the way now. Danny Rick should get DRS.
Alonso 1.6. Don't worry.
Yes, he does get DRS. That's going to help him a little bit. But it's giving Alonso 1.4, 1.5 here. The tyres look like they are going to be able to hold on now. For a second there, I was getting a little bit worried, but it looks okay. You viewed. Hello, buddy. Evening. Hope you're well. Made it late, though. Not a problem. Glad you could jump in. And we've got Guan Yu Zhou, who's next up the road. And we've got Liam Lawson. Could our ex-teammate cause some drama on the final lap here? Are we going to catch them? Batteries are depleted.
We're checking.
Ricciardo's got a mechanical fault.
Confirm we can see the tissue. We have margin to push a bit more.
He's got an ERS issue. That ERS is 91%, but he's developed a fault. And that is not ideal, is it, for Danny Rick? Danny Rick wants to fight for the win on this final lap. But he may not get the chance. It's 1.3. How close are we to these back markers? I don't think we're going to catch them. Danny Rick 1.2. He needs to get closer.
Only can use the deploy.
Okay.
Danny Rick, he is gaining, you know. He's going to get a slipstream here. Danny Rick within half a second of Fernando now. And we've got another DRS zone coming up. There's still a chance here for Danny Rick to claim this on the last lap. Alonso slowed through there as well. Is Alonso going to get DRS on the back markers? No, I think he's too far back. He will get a slipstream. Danny Rick, I think he's too far back though. That 9 tenths. DRS is opening. Okay. He's gaining. He's gaining. He is gaining, but he's going to be too far back, I think. Fernando Alonso through this final corner. He's just got this slight right-hander to do. In a dry to wet to dry race here in Miami, it is going to be Fernando Alonso that wins it. And Danny Rick in P2.
What do you have done?
Hulkenberg claims his first podium in Formula One. And somehow, although the pace in this car has dropped off, somehow we have managed to still claim a 1-2 here. And it is Fernando Alonso on the top step. And the Honey Badger, Danny Rick in P2. And Nico Hulkenberg in P3. And there he is. Hulkenberg, look. Hulkenberg is on a podium in Formula One.
Drivers up there on the podium together.
I mean, it might be a virtual universe, but Hulkenberg has done it. And who knows, it might come to fruition in real life. Maybe not next year, but 2026 with Audi for Hulkenberg. I'd love to see it. Alonso up 5 places to win it, and Ricciardo up 8 for second. So we put on a mega display there to win this race and get a 1-2. Nico Hulkenberg finishes where he starts third. I think he'll be happy with that podium, but he did have a chance to win it. Of course, his teammate had a big chance of winning it. For some reason, looked like it was going to be an easy win for Tsunoda. RB put him on the inters and wrecked his race. So really, it should have been Tsunoda winning this race. Sainz is 4th, dropped away after he got that issue. Max up 3 to 5th. Hamilton 6th. Piastri 7th. Bottas 8th, up 5. Below this are one of the Williams held on. Then Ocon up 9 places to finish 9th. Lando Norris rounds out the top 10. And it was Hulkenberg that got the fastest lap. Where did old poor Tsunoda finish in the end? 13th. Down from pole. Down 12 places for poor Yuki. Drivers' Championship then. It was a sprint weekend as well, so that's why you're seeing some more points here. And Daniel Ricciardo is still in the lead of the Drivers' Championship. But Alonso closes the gap by 6 points. Tsunoda, quite a disappointing weekend in the end, only 6 points, and them all coming from the sprint. Sainz is 4th, he closes the gap on Tsunoda. Piastri 5th, Max Verstappen goes up 3 places to 6th. Hamilton 7th, Leclerc is 8th, Norris 9th, and Hülkenberg jumps into the top 10 with 19 points. And then the rest of the points so far, we've got Bottas in 11th, Russell in 12th, Perez 13th, Ocon 14th, and Ocon scores his first points of the season, getting 2 today in Miami. So Constructors, as I say, another good weekend for us, but we are now ranked as, I think, the 6th or 7th fastest car on the grid, so I'm not quite sure how that all worked out today, but we take it. Team Lotus lead the way in the Constructors, RB still in 2nd, Hülkenberg doing the job there to maintain that, actually extend that 2nd place. Red Bull up 1 to 3rd, Ferrari down 1 to 4th, McLaren 5th, and Mercedes drop off. Well, as they say, that needs to be studied. The dominant car last year, Bottas won the Drivers' Championship, they won the Constructors. They're only on 29 points after 6 this year. Williams get another 2 to go up to 5 points. Aston Martin on 2. Gasly was running in the points at one stage, but Audi, although it says Kicksale, but Audi, Alpine and Haas still yet to score. So in the end, a familiar result for us in 2026, a 1-2, but I do feel it was handed to us. One, that RB strategy, putting Yuki on the Inters when it was full wets for at least 10 laps, just absolutely wrecked his race. Looked like he was nailed on to win it. And then also another RB mistake, Hülkenberg, and we also had Sainz in the Red Bull. They extended those stints on the wets when it was switching over to Inters. And by extending, I think that allowed the 1-2, that allowed Alonso and Ricciardo to get ahead of him. And then they just could never catch up to us again. So I think we're a bit lucky there. Without those errors, we might have been able to get to 2nd, but I think we're probably more nailed on for 3rd and 4th in this race. So still good pace from us, but it'll be interesting to see as we go into the next race how we're looking, because we're now ranked, as we saw, around about 8th on the grid. So it is very interesting indeed. But for now, it's another 1-2. But what we do like to see is the grid is a lot closer. So I think we're going to have some good results now for the rest of 2026. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you again for your support. It is much appreciated. If you're not already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't liked the video, please just take a couple of seconds to click that like button. It really does help me out. And get involved down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this one and poor Yuki Tsunoda's strategy. And we'll be back with the next episode in our Team Lotus F1 Manager series very soon.